Well, as you can see, this is not the XSR 155. This is in fact the new Yamaha FZ-X. Now we at ZigWheels, like most of you, are fans of the Yamaha FZ. But the question is, does this FZ-X mark the spot? Well, we are not entirely certain. So here are 4 ways where it might not hit the spot and a couple of ways where it just might. The first way where it might not really come together is in the way it looks. Now yes, it is supposed to look like the baby XSR, and if you really squint your eyes, it might sort of look like it. The moment you unsquint them, it looks like some kind of celebrity impersonator.
Sorry yaar, mera first time hai na.
Now individual elements do look pretty good, like that retro style fuel tank, that tan seat, and even those fake radiator shrouds. They look pretty nice, but the whole thing doesn't really come together in any cohesive way. And some things look downright cheap, like this archaic grab ring. The second reason why this might not hit that mark is performance. Well, there's no excitement in there, but it still might have some passion. Allow me to explain. Now this is based on the Yamaha FZ, so it shares the same suspension, same frame, and mainly that same engine. But that engine is the least powerful in its class. In fact, it makes just 0.4 PS more than the Pulsar NS 125. But when it comes to actual performance, things get much worse. Not only is it the slowest accelerating bike in its class, it's also slower to 60 km/h than the NS 125. Heck, with a 0 to 60 time of a little over 7 seconds, it's roughly in the ballpark of the BS6 Hero Passion Pro. And what about 0 to 100, you ask? Well, we can't tell you, because in all of our tests, we simply couldn't get this bike to reach 100 kph. Well, then you might say, it could be a good off-roader. It's got block pattern tires after all. But don't let these tires fool you. They are mainly for aesthetic purposes. As a wise man once said, this is not a Tenere. Now the FZ-X certainly won't hit the spot if you're interested in long distance riding. Firstly, there is that seat, which is extremely soft. So if you're sitting for long hours in the saddle, you tend to sink in, and that is not good news for your back or your backside. And then there's the posture itself. There's only one way to put this. Now the handlebars, they are much taller than the normal FZ, and it also pulled back towards the rider. And the footpegs, they are extremely center set, which makes for a very commuter-like riding position. And that with the seat is just not good news for the highway. And then there's the motor itself. It is fairly comfortable at speeds of up to 80-85 kph, but any faster and it starts to feel really strained. And that means on the highway, the efficiency drops quite a bit. It's not horrible, but compared to the city efficiency, it is fairly low. And then a bike that can't do 100 for highway use? Come on. And one of the main reasons why this FZ-X might not hit the spot is the bottom line, the price. At almost rupees 1.17 lakh ex-showroom Delhi, the FZ-X is almost 9,000 rupees more expensive than the Bluetooth equipped FZ Fi. And for that extra cash, I don't think you're getting anything more than this neo-retro design. Which does bring us to why this FZ-X actually might hit the spot for you. Now the main reason we think why the FZ-X might just work for you is the design. Now don't get us wrong, we are not big fans of the way the FZ-X looks. It's not a very pretty bike, but it is quite striking and it does stand out from all the other bikes in the market. We can totally imagine that there are some takers for this quirky design. I mean, there are people who like bikes like the ZMR or the Mojo or even Yamaha's own Phaser 125. And then in all honesty, the overall proportions of the bike do look and feel a lot larger than they do in the pictures. And then build quality is not bad, so no complaints there either. It's also got a fully digital instrument cluster with a couple of interesting features up its sleeve. Firstly, it gets Bluetooth connectivity using Yamaha's Y Connect app. This lets you check out your bike's fuel efficiency, mark your last park location, and even gives you call and message alerts on the dashboard. Heck, you can even see a live display of your engine revs on your smartphone. Although we're not sure what use that is. And you also get a 12-volt charging socket under that dashboard. But this dash also misses out on some basic features like a gear position indicator. And the other reason why this X might mark the spot for you is if you're going to be spending most of your time in the city. Now that engine, not great on the highway or for high speed, but in the city it works beautifully. You can carry speeds of 25-30 kph in 5th gear. It is very tractable. And of course it also gives great efficiency. We got over 55 km per liter in our city tests. And then there is the suspension. Now the FZ series of bikes has always had great suspension, and the X is no different. It flattens out the nastiest of bumps without ever feeling too soft or too wallowy. It is a bit firm but very well controlled. And coming to the ergonomics, if you're amongst those few people who find the riding position of the regular FZ a little too aggressive, you're going to love this FZ-X because it feels like a pakka commuter, almost like a larger Splendor. And that seat, yes, while it is too soft for long hours in the saddle, it feels perfect for shorter commutes. The FZ-X is a bit of a mixed bag. On the one hand, because it's based on the FZ platform, it makes for a great city motorcycle. On the other, well, it doesn't really hit the mark on any other front. Could Yamaha have done something better? Of course they could have. They could have got the XSR 155 to India. They already make the MD15 here. The XSR would have commanded a slight price premium, but it would have still been the most affordable neo-retro bike in the country compared to the Husqvarna's or the Honda CB350 RS. Heck, they could have even made a neo-retro bike based on the FZ25. That way, it would have at least had more punch and better highway legs. At the end of the day, if you want a quirky Yamaha, why not consider the MD15 itself? Or if you're looking for a bike in that 150cc space and are not enamored by Bluetooth connectivity, the base FZ-FI is 98% the same bike and a whole 12 grand cheaper, which makes that our wholehearted recommendation.